Okay. So today's my topic would be simpler, faster, more cost-effective machine building. And in today's webinar, we are going to discuss the way we are going to have a flow of this webinar is first we are going to discuss on the key market drivers, whatever the OEM drivers are today and whatever the end users manufacturing drivers are today based on the market expectations. And then we are going to briefly discuss on connected components portfolio, which has micro 800 family, which is a small controller family. Then we have a visualization range, drives, motion. And then we are going to briefly discuss on the accelerator toolkit and some key application examples wherein you can use these solutions. And then we are going to briefly touch upon Rockwell Automation as a brief. So today, if you see end users and the OEM share many common manufacturing drivers, right? So, but there is a significant difference at the equipment level. If we see today, end users have a relatively stable install base that can be supplied by a diverse number of OEMs. There are multiple OEMs who are supplying the machines to the end users, and end users is getting those machines from various machine builders and various OEMs. OEMs have a relatively volatile order take that can be created by a diverse number of end users. If you see the OEMs are serving multiple end users and they are supplying those machines to the multiple end users across the country. So as a result, we express the cost focused for end users, which is defined by the total life cycle cost. Because ultimately, when OEM is going to supply the machines to the end users, they are the ultimate owner of the machine. And hence, for end users, the prime focus would be how to retain the total life cycle cost and how to do the productivity improvements. When it comes to the machine builder as an OEM, they are focusing into how they can reduce the total cost of design, develop, and deliver their machines to the market so that they can overall reduce the lead time to the market. So while the difference between end users and machine builders may seem obvious, there is an actual significant commonality between the two in terms of business drivers. For example, integration and simplifications, right? Integration and simplification is a flexibility are essential drivers for both customer types. So if you see here, end users and OEM, both integration and simplification is there because this is a need of both the communities, right? But when putting a new line in a production facility for developing a machine, there is a need for a flexibility and a scalable architecture. So today, for an example, I'll just take an example for Nestle, right, which is a recent case of Maggi, right? So now, when this case happened, now Nestle come into the huge pressure of productivity in terms of changing their marketing strategy, and from the same machines lines, they have to develop sometimes, if they are doing one packet per minute from the same machine, they have to develop 10 packets from the same machine, so they have to bundle as a family pack. So this is a demand which is coming from the market. We as a consumers are demanding. Now how fast they can adapt those market demands, right? And how fast they can produce their lines, their production lines can produce to serve the market, is we are talking about the flexibility and integration and simplification. So what end users is wanting today, so they can, the marketing guy can ask, I want this, I'm launching this promotional campaign next day, and I want this to be, your production to be set up accordingly. So a production guy will be a challenge because until and unless their machines are not designed for integration and simplification, they would not be able to supply those demands to the market. So, and if you talk about integration and simplification, it is the same case for OEMs as well. They are also looking forward for flexible machines. They are also looking for ease of integration, today's need. However, the distinction between machine builders and end users is apparent when you examine how each type actually views their use of automation equipment. So for end users, the focus is on optimum asset utilization and the total life cycle cost, right? However, while a total cost of ownership discussion may be completely appropriate for an end user, it will not necessarily resonate well with the machine builder, right? After all, machine builder is not a machine owner, right? He is just building the machine and then supplying the machines to the end users. But for OEMs, the primary driver is performance, and more specifically, the performance versus price ratio, right? How much the cost of the machine is, and whatever equipment he is procuring for that particular machine, and what performance that particular machine is giving. So we are talking about throughput, we are talking about performance, we are talking about how effectively that machine is performing, whether it is performing to the complete at the line speed from the end user side. So simply put, machine builder are looking forward for the best value when they choose an automation solution. So machine builders measures value not only by enhancing machine performance, but also by how the solution optimizes their machine building process. So here, if you see, here the cost is total lifecycle cost, right, for end users. And here the OEMs are more focusing on total cost to design, develop, and deliver. This is a significant difference between end users and OEMs, which we in Rockwell Automation found. And that is how the drivers of both the communities are different. Now, coming to the plant-wide automation, now you have been hearing a lot of buzz around, around Industry 2.0. You have been hearing buzz around Industry 4.0, the smart manufacturing concept, which is, revolving around the market, the big data, and all that thing. So, how we talk about delivering the plant-wide automation, right, to the machine builders and equipments. Now, when we talk about the plant-wide optimization, we are talking about the complete integration across the line. Like end users is having multiple lines in the plants, and they have to integrate those lines to their MES, ERP, to the top layer of the organizations to have a seamless integration. But how OEMs can play a major role? What we feel that machine builders today has to play a very vital role in delivering the plant-wide optimization to the end users, right? So because the whole plant-wide optimization is revolving around equipment and machinery. When we go to any end user plant, there are a lot of machines which is supplied by various vendors, right, which is communicating on various protocols. And so there has to be an integration which comes into the picture when we talk about a connected enterprise, right? So end users are increasingly outsourcing more of the automation to the machine builders. So they want to focus more on their core, production. They don't want to focus more on machine building and automation piece. They want to offload the complete part to the machine builder and the automation part to the technology supplier to take care of it. So machine throughput and flexibility is going to be the key drivers. We have been hearing this throughput and flexibility as the key drivers. It's a traditional drivers, and I think it is going to be there because the market demands for it. There's a flexibility, there is a throughput performance which OEMs are taking care of. So when we talk about machine builders are today increasingly finding themselves in a closer business relationship with their end users, customers. This relationship was not there previously, but today the relationship is more strong. These are not working, the OEMs and end users are working more as a partner rather than vendor and supplier agreement. So the long-term trend is for end users to focus more on their core competence and rely on the OEM community to be their automation equipment subject matter experts. So as I said, that OEM would end users would like to focus on their core competency, and they would like to offload the complete, the automation part and the machine building part to the subject matter experts, which they are feeling their technology supplier like OEMs are. So the throughput and flexibility and the significant burden on the automation equipment. Machine builder can achieve better results if they establish a closer relationship with the automation technology provider. So this is how this particular slides I would like to communicate that machine builders have a vital role to play when we talk about delivering the plant-wide optimization for the end users. And herein, end users and OEMs have a closer relationship with the technology suppliers. So machine builder performance performance. Now, how we define the machine builder performance in Rockwell Automation, that machine builders today are challenged to differentiate themselves amidst the global competition and rapidly evolving technology. We have been seeing that technology is evolving day by day. There's a technologies which is coming. As I talk, that we are getting into the new era of smart manufacturing, where all the devices which is there are IT enabled, and they are internet enabled, so they can talk, and they can, whatever they are communicating, and they should talk to each other, and they should provide that data and information to have a seamless integration in the connected enterprise. So the technologies are changing, and machine builders today years. At the same time, they have to maintain they have a price pressure also, right? To achieve greater profitability, machine builders must improve their overall operational performance. So the way we have divided these in the complete life cycle, if you see, of machine builders, we define them into 3 stages in the machine building. One is the design stage, when they are designing their machines. So how we can support them in designing their machines. So we have various tools available on the risk assessment, right? We do a risk assessment for the machines from a safety perspective. Then we have design productivity. We have various tools available which can reduce the design time of a machine. Then we come into the developer stage, when the machine builder or an OEM is developing their machines. Right? When they are developing their machines, it has to be, as per the market demand. Now, how they can reduce the time to market in the, how they can be flexible equipment models, how they can simplify the integration, how can they optimize their machine designs. We have various tools available which can support machine builders and OEMs today to develop their machines. And at the finally, when they have the design stage is passed, developer stage is passed, they have to deliver that machine to the market. So it comes to the commissioning, right, and the service and support, and the reliability of that machine, and how the machine is performing with respect to whatever the machine is designed for, whether it is performing as per the design, whether it is performing, it is giving the 100% efficiency, whether it is throughput is performing. So we have various tools available which can support with respect to delivery stage. We have various technologies. So in all these 3 stages, we identify the challenges of the OEMs in design, develop, and deliver stage, and we have all solutions available in all these 3 categories. So now I will just switching the topics. So getting into the complete connected components portfolio which we have, and how the connected component portfolio can help for simpler, faster, and cost-effective machine building for the OEMs. So essentially, if you see, we classified our offerings in Rockwell Automation into 3 categories. One is the connected components, which is essentially meant for the standalone machine applications, right, which is just enough control whatever the need of the machine is. So we are not talking about information enabled or integrated safety, all those aspects, which is talking about a smart manufacturing. We have a different portfolio there, but this is just a need of the machine builder. So at standalone machines, small machines, we have a connected component bundling. And then we have a mid-range architecture, which is talking about for mid-range application, not very complex applications, but the application is extended machines. And then we have integrated architecture, who provides a complete line of multiple control discipline, flexibility, scalability. It has real-time information enabled, all the controllers and all the drives are Ethernet IP enabled, which gives you seamless integration. And then it has integrated safety, and there's a design environment which we have, Studio 5000, which gives you the complete engineering side of it. So broadly, we have divided the portfolio into connected components and integrated architecture. connected components primarily for the standalone machines, and integrated architecture is further divided into mid-range and large architecture, which for the large and complex machines. So depending on the customer needs, we have the right solutions available. So as I said that today, if you see machine builders, they are getting into a space where the same machine builder is manufacturing a standalone machine, and the same OEM is manufacturing the large complex machines as well, right? So machine builders are getting into the space where they are not only manufacturing small level machines. As per the market demand, they are getting into the complex machine manufacturing as well. So we have the portfolio available on the connected component side, which is a cost-effective component solution, which has simple, it can be a small controller, then it had a small safety, small HMI, and a drive, and a small motion applications, right? So this is for the small controllers and small applications. Moving into the mid-range solutions, it is little bit complex applications, which has multi-axis motion, and the controller capabilities are higher, which required the performance time, and the performance is a prime criteria. And then we have highly integrated solution, which has integrated safety, which has IPC range drives, which is Ethernet IP enabled, and then coordination of multi-axis machines, robotics, electronic line shifting. These are some key examples of integrated architecture portfolio. So you can see from low-end side to the high-end side, we have the complete portfolio available for the OEMs who are manufacturing different kind of machines. So the solution fits right based on their needs. So when we talk about connected components, if you see an OEM has a different requirement, right? It has a typical machine has a requirement of a controller. It has a requirement of a visualization, which is HMI. It has a requirement of a drive. It can be a requirement if it is a bit complex application. It require couple of axis motion. Then it requires sometimes safety. Safety is not we are not seeing very significant requirements of safety at component level. But yes, if the OEM is exporting their machines to the European countries specifically, which has high safety standards, we are seeing those opportunities in the market. So we have a safety portfolio as well as connected component level. So the connected component solution is preferred for control solution for standalone machines. As I said, this is meant for standalone machines. So the bundled approach, when I say bundled approach, I mean to say it has controller, it has HMI, it has drives, motion, all put together, is helping machine builders to quickly design and develop their machines. And if we connect this slide to the design, develop, and deliver, which we talked about, it is helping to reducing their total lead time into the market, right? So the complete connected component portfolio has micro 800 controllers. Then we have PowerFlex drives. Then we have panel view components. Then it has kinetics motion, and then safety. So simple, ready, and cost effective. This is a tagline for connected component solution. Now coming to micro 800 family, we have, this is a complete portfolio of micro 800 family using connected component workbench, which is essentially a software for programming all the bundled product of connected component family. So as you can see, we have micro 810, which is a small logic relay of 12 points IOs for small applications. And then we have micro 820, which is for smaller standalone machines. And micro 820 is being used as a RTU applications in water and solar projects also, which has a data logging facility. It has embedded analog IOs, and it can be used at the DNP protocol. And then when it comes to micro 830, it is essentially meant for where the IO requirement is more. You can see it can support up to 88 points, and there are some plugin modules available. And if you have some motion applications also, it can serve those motion applications because it has PLC the open motion control function block available. Micro 850 is another range which has higher I/O density. It can go up to 132 points, and it can be used for standalone machines where I/O requirement is more. At the same time, it requires motion capabilities. It can control up to 3 axes, and it has possibility of if you would like to put I/Os in DeviceNet as a remote I/O, you can put that as well. So this is the complete portfolio, and this is just anatomy of Micro 810, how it looks alike. So we have 8 inputs, then it has embedded power supply module. There is a LCD display available which is required to program it, so you don't need any specific program for that. You can directly program from USB this small controllers. So very small applications up to 12 points, and this is a complete detailed available for this. So I'm not getting into the complete details of Micro 810 controller. This slide is giving you the complete insight of what all specifications, what all functionality this particular controller has. Then Micro 820, as I said, it is for the small control applications and can be used for remote automation projects in water and solar projects as a RTO, which has 20 I/O points. It has built-in controller system menu, which has a sample remote LCD unit, right, which can be programmed as a small HMI as well. It has some thermistor input. You can have 2 plugin for expansion if you would like to expand the I/Os, and then it has a SD card inbuilt into it, which is used for a data log and recipe management. Again, this is a complete technical specifications and features of Micro 820 controller in a detailed way, so I'm not getting into that. So Micro 830 anatomy, we have various controllers available with base. We have 8, 16, 24 and 48 points controller, which required for a simple motion applications. It has got a USB port, it has got a serial port, it has got run program switch as well, and it can support up to 3 axes of motion with the pulse train output module. It got high-speed outputs as well. So essentially used for machine applications, which required motion applications as well. This is Micro 850 anatomy, which has Ethernet and some expansion I/Os. So it has got Ethernet port inbuilt. It has got USB port. It has got serial port, which can be configured as Modbus ASCII, RTU, and then Ethernet. The same port can be configured as Ethernet IP or Modbus TCP also. So you can have 5 plug-in slots in this, and then it can go up to 4 expansion I/O module, right? And it supports up to 132 I/Os point. If you would like to extend this as a remote I/O configuration, that functionality is also there. There is a DeviceNet on which you can extend your number of I/Os. This gives you complete overview of 850 controller. So it has got all the functionality of Micro 830 with additional capability of it has got Ethernet port. As I said, it supports Ethernet IP and Modbus TCP IP, and supports up to 4 expansion I/O modules, which is expandable up to 132 digital I/O in a local, and it can go in remote as well. So these are the expansion I/Os for Micro 850 which you can use. You can just these are removable terminal blocks, right? You can see on the green side these are removable terminal block, and you can just plug in these modules and you are ready to go. So these are some plugin modules which you can put, which extend the functionality of a controller without increasing the panel size. So there is a form factor of a controller, and then you can put the plugin modules. And it has analog I/O, digital I/O, potentiometer, if you would like to extend the communication on serial port, you can put additional serial port communication. It has got device net scanner, which if you would like to extend this with the remote I/O functionality, you can add that. And if you want to put some drives on that, you can put on that. It has motion high-speed counter. Then we have some application-specific plugins available from our Encompass partner. We do have some Encompass partners, and their products are very well tested, and which providing certain applications, like if you have a weighing application, if you have a water application, or if you want to have a GSM or GPRS modem connectivity. So these partners are providing solutions for that. So this is a DeviceNet Scanner plugin. As I said, that it is required if you would like to have a go for a remote I/O configuration. It can support up to 20 nodes. So you can put 20 drives, and then you can put remote I/Os. So we have 300 I/Os in remote, which is tested and validated on this configuration. So remote I/O concept is, I'm sure you must be aware of that, so I don't need to tell you, which is helping you to reduce the complete wiring time. There are field devices which is there on the site, right? So rather than getting all wires from those field devices to the main controller, you have some remote I/Os which is there at the field side, which is helping you to reduce the total wiring of the cost, and there is only one wire which goes from the module to the main controller. So as I said, this is talking about the plugin concept, which offers a high flexibility. So you can have maximum 5 slots, which is allowing you to have multiple serial ports if you want, which demands for the application. And we have the widest range of plugin module available, right, in micro 800 system. And there are special applications available from Encompass partner. For highly scalable, for more I/Os, there are 2085 expansion I/O modules in compact block LDX on DeviceNet. DeviceNet, you can go with the remote I/O. 320 I/O with compact logics, LDX on DeviceNet is possible, which is tested right now. So the controller, the Micro 800 family offers various communications available. So it has a USB port, which is essentially used for CCW programming software to Micro 800 control. Right, you don't require any specific communication media to do the programming. So it is just a simple USB port and 2.0 this, which you can use the programming. And then we have CIP assembly on Ethernet IP, which is helping to communicate on Logix products. We have DeviceNet Scanner for distributed and remote I/Os. It supports Modbus and ASCII protocols for connectivity. So it supports CIP serial and client server architecture. It supports Modbus RTU and ASCII. And then Ethernet, it supports Ethernet IP, client server architecture, and Modbus TCP. So this slide gives you the complete overview of what all connectivity options the Micro 800 family has. So this is a brief comparison of expansion I/Os and plugin. So plugin I/Os are non-removable. Once you plug it, you can't remove that. And expansion I/Os are removable terminal block, right? So it gives you the complete density. In plugin, we have up to 8 points, and expansion I/Os we have up to 32 points. Then coming on the PV800 HMI, as I said, that connected component is a complete bundle of all the needs of the machine builders, which is required for any simple machine. So it has visualization also, it has drives also, it has controllers also, right? So we have a PanelView 800, which is a new range of PanelView component HMI, and that HMI is available into 3 sizes. The HMI is available into 4-inch, 7-inch, and 10-inch. And high resolution, it has built-in real-time clock. It has SD card for data logging. It has Class 1 Division 2 certification. There are multiple communications available, Ethernet, Modbus to communicate with controllers. and 65K color touch screen, IP65 protected. So this is an overview of PanelView 800. You can connect with all Micro 800 and Macro Logic series of Rockwell Automation. So this is a new range which we launched recently. PowerFlex 520 series is a component class drives we have, which is from 0.4 kilowatt up to 22 kilowatt, and all these drives are having Ethernet IP inbuilt and provides ultimate flexibility. So it has PowerFlex 520, then we have 523, then we have PF525, then we have 527. So this is the complete range available of PowerFlex 520 series of drives, which can be communicated with controllers. So this is positioning of PowerFlex drives. PowerFlex 523 30 HP, and it is essentially goes as a bundle with connected component, which has Micro 800 controller, PV800 HMI, and PowerFlex drive. It has standard USB connectivity and embedded DSI, and 525 is having one port of Ethernet IP, and 527 is having a dual port Ethernet, and it has embedded safe torque functionality as well as for SIL3. Right. So essentially, in the smaller requirement, we face a lot of PF523 and 525. Maximum for standalone applications. When it goes to 527, it goes in a mid-range offering, which we have another in control range. So this is Kinetics 3, which is motion, and it has 7-segment display, 2 serial communication port, which can have daisy chain capability on Modbus. There are PLC open motion functional blocks available, which can be communicated directly with controller. They are motion functional blocks readily available in the controller. It is up to 1.5 kilowatt and 12.5 Newton meter torque. So it can be used with a Micro 800 controller. Then we have the safety relay, which is CR30, which is essentially, as I said, used for a smaller application. It has got 12 inputs, 4 outputs, and it can be, the IOs can be extended via plugin, which has 16 additional standard IOs. This can also be configured using connected component work software. So now I'm going to briefly discuss on Connected Component Workbench, which is a software for all these product range. Whatever we talked about today, machine builders, we don't want them to use different softwares and different softwares for different platforms, right? For drives, there is a different software. For HMI, there is a different software. For controller, there is a different software. But what we are providing is a bundled of that all the products, drives, HMI, visualization in one package. And there is a one software which is available, Connected Component Workbench, which is a single software for all your component devices. So you talk about Kinetics, you talk about PowerFlex, you talk about Micro 800 controllers, then soft starters. All these can be programmed with one software, which is Connected Component Workbench. So you can configure it, you can program it, and then you can visualize it. So easy to configure. It has a single software package for all your essential component, which reduces to create and maintain your machine designs. So you have one software. You don't need to get into a different software for programming different components. It has got Wizard as well, which is guiding to configuration of PowerFlex and Kinetics 3 drive. It can communicate on USB communication. So it has all IC 61131 PLC programming languages, which we talk about, and PLC open motion instructions with the PTO motion access to have the motion applications. It has got user-defined functional block, which is a very usable functional blocks, which essentially reduces the machine development time. So user can define their own functional blocks as per the application requirement. It has got a panel view component and 800. The application development is integrated with 800 controllers. So we have, you can easily have the directly referenced by HMI tags, which is resulting in less complexity. So you can download this software, which is a free downloadable from Rockwell Automation website. So there are two versions of it. One is a developer version, one is a standard version. So standard version is free, available on the website. You can go to, there's a website which is given down the line. So you can go to our website and download the software directly. So as I said, there are two versions. One is a standard, one is developer. So standard edition is free to download, or you can go to our website and ask for a DVD as well, and it will help you to play with this software, which is a very powerful software for all your standalone application connected component needs. Right. The only difference would be you would not be able to do the run mode changes in the standard edition, and you cannot have user-defined data types. Whatever data types you have created in developer edition, you can import those, but you would not be able to create any user-defined data types in the standard edition. And except that, and then you would not be able to do the password protection in standard edition. So rest all facilities are available. You can have user-defined functional block, and you can have programming, you can have project import, export, and it is a common environment to configure all your common devices. So this is showing the complete overview of a connected component basket, which has micro 800 controllers, panel view 800, panel view component, Guardmaster safety relay, Kinetics 3, which is the motion. Then we have PowerFlex 4 series, PowerFlex 520 series, soft starters of SMC. So I'll just request you to, once this webinar is finished, you can download this software, go to our website and download this software and play with it. So this is for the security and IP protection. Now, when we talk about security aspect, it is very important, because today, if a machine builder is, paying for developing a software, right, and an application, which is an intellectual property of that OEM, and OEM says that I don't want my application which I developed for this particular machine, go to end users, and I don't want anyone to open that. So there is an option to secure that application and program, which is a IP protection and security. So we have that facility in CCW software, by which it will not allow you to getting into the program level of your logic, right? So you can put a password. Password is encrypted in all communication with CCW. Okay, and if the password is lost, then you need to update the controller with the new firmware. Then we have the accelerator toolkit, right? So what we thought that today machine builders are investing a lot of time on developing their machines, developing their logic, the bill of material, the wiring diagrams, and the wiring logic, and everything. So what we have this connected component accelerator toolkit, which is a starter kit. So for all new customers who are going to start using the connected component, how the CCAT, which is Connected Component Accelerator Toolkit, helping them to reduce the machine development time, right, by 50%. Right. This is a tested in the all three stages, which we discussed in the previous slides: design, develop, and deliver. This particular piece is going to help you in design and develop stage, right, which is helping you to reduce your commissioning time by 50%. So it has got all the white papers. This kit has a sample code. It creates the complete bill of material for you. It creates a complete wiring diagram for you for typical micro-threaded application, which is reducing the machine conversion time. It has a user-defined functional block. It improves the total design productivity and time to market. And all the components which I talked about, which has got HMI, it has got CAD drawings, and it has create some logic as well, right? And bill of material, and it creates the complete documentation. So this is CCAT is also free available, right? There is a DVD which comes in. You can directly download CCAT, and recently we have updated the software revision, which is the latest version is R9, which released in on 10th of December, which has got a lot of new functionality and a lot of new features also. So you can go on the website and download this CCAT software for use. So the key value proposition for micro 800 controllers and CCW software, so it has got greater flexibility and scalability with micro 800 plugin modules, right? So you can have plugin modules separately in micro 800 controllers depending on the communication needs, depending on the application needs. Then it supports a variety of network communication options. It supports Modbus, it has USB, it has Ethernet, it has Modbus TCP/IP. It has device net as well for remote IO configuration. So it has USB port for ease of use, so you don't need any special cable for programming. It's a normal USB which you can do the programming. Component motion, it is easy to program and effective, cost-effective solution, which is K3 motion applications. And at last, connected component workbench, which is a single software for programming all these component level equipments, whether it is a drive, whether it is a motion drive, whether it is a HMI or a safety relay or a controller. There are sample application codes which is readily available, which is reducing the machine development time. So you can just call out the application code and which is readily available, and you can use that. Then we have password for security and IP protection. So the micro 800 and connected component workbench offers the cost-effective and easy to implement solution, which is helping the OEMs and machine builders to be competitive in the market and helping them to reduce their total downtime to the market and helping their end users to serve in a better way. So CCW, as I said, that we have recently do the revision of this on 10th of December. So there is a standard edition which you can directly download. Then there is a developer edition which is chargeable, which is a one-time charge, and you will get a lifetime license. So this chart essentially gives you the overview of all the micro 800 range of controllers. So depending on the application needs, right, you can go for the controllers like micro 810, which can be used in lightning control, elevator control, compressor control, heating and cooling applications. Micro 820 can be used in as RTU in solar and water applications, water pump applications. It can be used in DDC in building management system, because a lot of a PLC has an edge over DDC. So whatever the DDC has been used today in building management system, it can be replaced with a micro 820 controller. Then micro 830, it can be used for packaging applications, primary and secondary packaging. It can be used for PV solar applications for panel positioning. Then it can be used for intermittent and continuous vertical and horizontal packaging machines. So depending on your application needs, you can choose the controller. So this slide gives you that positioning. Micro 830 and 850 has a motion and position control, and 810 and 820 is not having any motion and position control required. This is for this simple standalone applications. So if you would like to see what all applications and we have done, and some key application videos are available on YouTube, right? So you can go and have a look on all these videos which has related to some packaging, some wrapper, adhesive label, some solar tracker application. There's a AHU application, some water pump control application, and material handling. So there are various applications video available, which gives you an overview. So this is what I try to do is I try to put some standalone machines and a typical architecture which goes in a VFFS. So this is a vertical form fill-in machines, and typically VFFS has a in this, if you see, it is a material handling. So there is a feeder, there is a vertical sealing, there is a web puller, and then finally sealing and cutting of the pouch. So typically which architecture goes is a small controller 850 and then panel view 800, and then it goes with there are two motors which goes, and there is a one motion drive which is there on auger feed, and one on pull, one on cross jaw, and then one is on film for normal drive for unwind and wind application in film. So this is a typical architecture which goes with micro 800 controller, PF523 drive, Kinetics 3 motion, which can have up to 3 axis control through PTO. This is again a typical application of a Gartner. So it shows you a typical architecture of panel view, micro 800 controller, and then Kinetics 3 motion drive. And this is showing you the typical architecture which goes for a pasteurizer in a process skid application, which has some field instruments to be connected. So it has RTD sensor and a pressure sensor, and then it has PowerFlex drives. There is no motion requirement. And this is again a water filtration skid, which is an entry-level skid, which got controller, HMI, and 2 drives. This is an extruder machine in a plastic application, which is a bit complex application. So it has got controller, it has got PF523, and there is a 2 motors, one is on feeder, one is on main extruder, and then there are some temperature controllers. So these are the some key examples of applications. And then we have this micro 800 starter pack available, which is has got standard controller micro 800, and then it has got a panel view HMI, which is available. So you can just buy it and have a hands-on on it. This is for the new applications and new users which we have launched. CCW software also comes with this. So there's a CCW component workbench software developer edition which comes along with this. It has got various controllers, micro 810, then we have one for micro 850, and panel view component HMI. So if you would like to have more information, you can go to this website, which gives you the complete overview of connected component solution which we has, and you can go through it. So what we would like to do now is that we would like to contribute in your machine building applications, and we would like to have a partnering with you. So the way we feel our machine builder, we have various partner level agreement and partner level programs available for machine builders, right? So we have a machine builder program which is helping you to give some additional benefits on sign up. So the technology and the people and the resources, all these put together is becoming a partnership, right? So we have a dedicated team available. We have a GOTC team available, which is a global technical team, right, who can support you in the machine development in the initial stage and provide you some POC concept. And then we have a throughout global support available for machine builders today. And in India also we have various supporting functions available from services team, from OEM team to support this business. So ultimately, Rockwell Automation OEM program, as I said, we have for machine and equipment builders at various levels. So we have programs available for company level. We have programs available at a machine level. Then we have programs available to jointly go into the market and help you to getting into some end users where we have some global accounts. We can support you in that area as well, and helping you to improve the technical competency of your team. With our GOTC, there is some training modules available. So there is a complete program available which gives you some key deliverables, helping you to reduce the downtime and helping you to develop the new machines for your end users. So this gives you the complete overview of connected component basket. So all the right products in one place, which is simpler, faster, cost-effective machine builder. So micro 800 controllers, PowerFlex drives, Kinetics, PanelView HMI, and GuardMaster, and which is used for various applications across all the industry segments. We have one software which is called Connected Component Workbench to meet the needs to program all these equipments. Low cost, simplified engineering, simple connectivity, and just enough control to meet the needs of the application.